the over the top energy and character.
Well, yeah, this is Amy, right?
Yes.
Excuse me. Yeah, well, Amy, it's kind of crazy because when I come home, I get to take the bandana off the old bald head, and I can put the hair in a ponytail, and I can just be Terry at the house. But it's really weird because the moment I walk out the house, the whole world sees me as Hulk Hogan. So it's just hard to, go to I have a little restaurant and bar here. It's hard to walk in the restaurant. There's 50 or 60 people waiting for me, and I can't tell them, well, Santa Claus's name is Bob. I'm really not Hulk Hogan. I'm really Terry. They don't want to hear that. So, it's a blessing, and thank God it's still happening after all these years. It still works.
Yeah, and so there was a time where you left wrestling to become an actor. I've seen No Holds Barred, by the way. And is it because you want to branch out, you want to do different things? Is it frightening to do something like that, to completely change careers when you were as popular as you were as a wrestler?
Well, it's kind of strange, bro, because when I did it, it was like a logical extension of where I was going in my career. But the problem was I was I was the only guy. There was no Rock. There was no John Cena. So for the first 20 years, it was me. And all of a sudden, I had all these people in Hollywood want me to make movies. So I actually did the first two movies that New Line Cinema ever did, Mr. Nanny and Suburban Commando. And it kind of like put New Line Cinema on the map because I do these low-budget kids movies, and there would be a ton of return on the investment. So I did like 16 or 17 of these little kids movies, and I was always away from the wrestling business for 2 or 3 months. And back then, it was the quickest draw. There were no guaranteed contracts. If Roddy Piper could take my place or Macho Man could take my place, they'd do it. So the whole time I was sitting there in the Winnebago on the side of the Sony sound stage for 18, 20 hours a day, they'd bring me in front of the camera for 5 minutes. I hated the process. So, I had that chance where I made a bunch of low-budget films. Then Paramount came to me, and I had the chance to do that pivot to become like The Rock, A-list, or move into that category. But at the time, there was so much darn money in wrestling. I went, something, guys? I think I'm going to go back to the locker room and drink a few beers and go out the ring and have fun with my friends.
It's so interesting, though, because you were so famous as a wrestler, as a standalone, but then even going into, like you said, the films or with kids, that kind of cemented your fame for multiple generations as well, because then it brought kids to wrestling. And if you are famous with kids, it means as they grow up, it's not just you were famous in this decade, but it guarantees that kids will remember you for decades going on, which is why 10-year-olds now know who Hulk Hogan is. Like, they know. I grew up and all of my friends had the Hulk Hogan action figures.
I had a Hulkamania shirt.
Yes.
I had a Hulkamania shirt, and I couldn't figure out why I wasn't able to rip it like you were. And then I realized, I was 10 and weak.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, Amy, you kind of like hit the nail on the head, because what was so funny is I've got this crazy cross demo now, because what you don't realize is a lot of guys like The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin, even if they wrestled for 15 or 20 years, they either had 3 or 4, 5, 6 years as main event guys, in the middle of their career. I was on top for 40 years. I was the main event guy for 40 years. So if you're 90 years old now, you probably watched me when you were 50. And then, like you said, the 10-year-olds know me, even the 5 and 4-year-olds, because of the WWE Network, because I'm always on, the A&E, with legends and stuff like that. So I've got a demo that spans from 4, 5, 6-year-old kids all the way to 90. I've got 9 generations of people that know Hulk Hogan. And then when I did the reality show with my family, where I became a father, a dad, a husband, I had the same problems with my wife and the kids that everybody has. I got this crazy female demo following me. So I kind of like got all bases covered over the last 40 years. That's why, I think that's why, people still recognize me and people still treat me like I'm the champ. It's really cool.
Talking with Hulk Hogan here on KMOX, and I saw you one of the many times you came through St. Louis at the old St. Louis Arena, and it was the main event match against Big Boss Man. I remember that. But you were you were here a lot. You did wrestling at the Chase when that was going on, and that used to be a really big deal around here.
Well, St. Louis has always been a hotbed for wrestling. What you don't understand is I started wrestling at the Chase, and then we went to the Kiel Auditorium and the St. Louis Arena. Then we went to the Checker Dome. I mean, there's a huge wrestling history right there in St. Louis. And for some reason, there were three different champions. There was a champion from New York, the WWF or WWE champion. There was the NWA champion for the Southern Belt. And then there was this Minnesota, Canada champion in the AWA. So all the champions and all the great wrestlers once a month would come to St. Louis. And that was a huge honor. It's kind of like being in Madison Square Garden. If you came to St. Louis and you were on the card in St. Louis, that was a big deal for your career.
Well, another shift in your career, which is why we're having you on today, too, is you are launching a new beer, Real American Beer. And what do we need to know about this, and where can we try it?
Well, it's going to be launched. It's on the trucks right now. It's coming your way. But the thing was, I kind of like, I was at a convention, and the short story is the Reader's Digest version is when I shake hands, I read people's name tags, I look you in the eye. I like to spend a couple seconds bonding with my fans. Where are you from? Thanks for hanging in there so long. Thanks for being on Team Hogan. When did you start watching wrestling? And as I talked to people, I read this guy's name tag, and it said Vice President of Pabst Blue Ribbon. And I said, oh my gosh, my dad used to drink that beer. And so the guy from Pabst Blue Ribbon goes, well, Hulk, have you ever thought of endorsing an alcohol product? I said, well, not really, but I have an idea, because I saw how Bud Light crashed and burned with their marketing plan, and they made a really bad mistake. You know, they didn't know their audience, and they miscued they had a great amount of momentum, and they really messed it up with their marketing plan. So I see this huge open lane, and I see this open lane. It's like Babe Ruth pointing to center field. It's like an open lane like parting the Red Sea. It's like Middle America, NASCAR, country western, wrestling, mom, apple pie, the American flag. I see this open lane for a beer that America's been waiting for. So when I came up with my beer, I said, this is bigger than politics, because the politicians don't talk. They don't communicate. They don't get along. And our country is so divided right now that the truth is we're more alike than we are different. But nobody really communicates. So I said, my idea is to have a beer that's even bigger than politics. And this beer, it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican, what your sexual preference is, what race, color, or creed you are. My idea is to bring America back together with one beer at a time, with Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer. Sometimes wrestlers might get an argument, but, you know, hey, brother, let's sit down and drink a beer and talk about it. And it usually calms the savage beast. So I was hoping with a Real American Beer, we could have people communicate, get back together over drinking a beer.
So did you, this particular beer, how much of the creation of it were you a part of? It was your idea, but in terms of just how it tastes.
Well, the taste kind of like got away from me, because we hired some really professional people in the beer industry to work on the hops and getting it just right. And I wanted it to be between a Miller Lite and a, the special, what's some darn Mexican?
Modelo?
Yes, thank you. Modelo Especial.
Mm-hmm.
I love that beer, and I did like a Miller Lite. So I wanted it in between the middle there somewhere, and we hit the nail on the head. And actually, it was brewed right there in St. Louis, and we hit the nail on the head. And everybody that's tried the beer loves it. We haven't got a note from anybody, from Walmart, from the military bases, from the 7-Elevens, the Publix, the Sam's Clubs, the Hooters, whenever Hooters with all the Hard Rocks. I mean, this thing is taking off like crazy. And I think it's the fact that people love the idea that it's time to put our swords down and let's start talking and communicate and be real Americans, you know. Let's just get things back together, you know, safety and prices of food and gas and a controlled border, and let's take care of our country. And I think it starts with a conversation.
That's awesome. I'm looking at the can right now, and it's perfect timing for 4th of July, because you have this Hulk Hogan, a muscly Hulk Hogan, holding a giant American flag. I think this is the 4th of July beer of choice.
Well, that was our whole plan, was to put this on the fast track. Timing's everything with the election year, like I said, and how divided the country is. We were just hoping we could get this beer out before 4th of July, and we pulled it off, and nobody said we could. And it's going to be in your stores. It should be this week in St. Louis.
Yeah, Missouri, Colorado, Minnesota, and Florida are the 4 states you're launching in. You're looking at, is it a total of 13 or 13 other states?
It's a total of 18.
18, okay.
Yeah, and things just keep opening up every single day. My partner's working this weekend, and they got Michigan and Wisconsin. So it's just like, we haven't had any pushback. But, some people kind of sit back in some of the states and kind of wanted to see how we performed. And all of a sudden, when this new beer kind of like became the in thing over the last couple of weeks, everybody wants to be on Team Hogan. So we're really excited about it.
Well, Hulk, it's great to have you on. Best of luck to you in this. And we appreciate you giving us your time today.
Man, thank you guys for helping me out. And thanks for being on Team Hogan. And hopefully when I come see you guys in St. Louis, I can kick the doors down to that studio and see you guys in person.
Well, yes, don't damage the doors because we don't have money to fix it.
No, you can damage the doors because then it becomes an artifact. It's like this
that's
door
right.
was
Hulk Hogan
damaged
broke
by
this
Hulk
door.
Hogan.
Yeah, okay, never mind. You could do that.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Well, can I yell at you real quick?
Yep.
You don't mind if I could scream one last time?
Yeah, please
Do
do.
it.
You know something, maniacs? Hulk Hogan here, and I can't believe I've got 2 brand new tag team partners, Chris and Amy, brothers. And now with Real American Beer, we're coming to St. Louis. And what you gonna do when Chris, Amy, Hulk Hogan, and Real American Beer run wild on you, brother?
Let's
go.
Woo! Thank you, Hulk.
Oh, boy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
That was great.
You guys be cool and eat fruit. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Did he say be cool and eat fruit? Is that what he said?
That's what I heard.
Hell yeah. That's the best advice I've ever gotten.
I am going to get a t-shirt with that on it.
Be cool,
But
eat fruit.
Eat fruit.
Chris and Amy on KMOX. That was Hulk Hogan.
2 ways to listen to KMOX in your car. 98.7 in the city, 11:20 a.m. further out. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
If you had a crystal ball, you wouldn't agonize over when to sell your home. You'd just ask, should I sell while my home's value is sky high or wait and hope the bottom doesn't drop out of the housing market? The thing is, I'm not ready to move. You don't need a crystal ball with Truehold's Sell and Stay program. You can literally sell now and stay in your home as long as you like. When you sell your home to Truehold for its best current value, you can fully cash out your home's equity and you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Truehold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance too. Truehold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get an offer now while your home's value is sky high and use the money to secure your retirement, pay off bills, or finance your dreams. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's current best value without moving. That's Truehold.com. Truehold.com.
When you're injured on the job, you need more than just a workers' comp lawyer. When you need a fighter, you need us. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, for the people. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Thanks for calling 1-800-GOT-JUNK. This is Sarah. How can I help?
I've been thinking.
What have you been thinking about?
I decided I should declutter more often because it's an important part of a balanced and healthy life.
Have you ever noticed that 1-800-GOT-JUNK has a question mark at the end of it?
Yes, I have noticed that.
We make junk disappear.
All I have to do is point.
All you have to do is point.
Can you come right now?
We're on our way.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Summertime is the best time to enjoy the outdoors and enhance the appearance of your home. Banner Construction can make your home the showplace of the neighborhood with maintenance-free James Hardy siding and beautiful Pella replacement windows. Drive up to your home with a renewed pride. Visit bannerconstruction.com or call 314-569-1050. Get a free in-home design and estimate. Call 314-569-1050. and have a banner day. 314-569-1050.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing.
But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
KMOX.
Recently honored by the Missouri Broadcasters Association. Best News Series.
Illinois,
Illinois. 618 tournament is ongoing, and Amy, it has been a massive success.
Oh,
The 618 tournament.
Way better than I ever could have dreamed.
It's gone so well, and we are getting down to it, my friend. We really are. It's Amy Marks, Kors, and Chris Ranji. You need to be following us on our Twitter account at Chris Amy KMOX so you can vote in the 618 day tournament. We started it on June 18th, and we are now to the final four. We do have results from the Elite Eight matchup, and here is how things have shaken out. And I'm a little surprised by this first one. I have to be honest with you, but what I think it means is people drink too much.
100% it is alcohol.
Number 15 seed Fast Eddie's in the Gary Gaetti region has defeated Eckert's Farm.
I don't know how I feel about this.
I don't either.
I feel a little sad. Eckert's, we all grew up going to Eckert's.
Eckert's?
Yep.
Yep. So I can't believe it that Fast Eddie's has come through in a very big way with 66% of the vote. They have defeated Eckert's Farm.
I think it's the alcohol. I also think some people were probably offended, felt that Fast Eddie's was underseeded.
So in the Michael Stipe region of our Whitey Herzog Memorial 618 Day Tournament, the number one seed, as you would expect, Jackie Joyner Kersey, with 55% of the vote, defeats the Great River Road. So JJK advances.
And in the Gene Rayburn region, number 4, Raging Rivers, has defeated number 11, Legal Sports Betting.
This is bad.
Wow.
That's really bad.
Raging Rivers. It's going at time.
I like Raging Rivers just fine, but you have no idea how important legal sports betting is.
Raging Rivers.
We don't even have that over here in Missouri.
I know.
We have to celebrate your legal sports
that
betting.
That leads me to believe that there were Missourians voting in this who feel a little, they're jealous, probably, that Illinois has legalized sports betting. They feel a little slighted. And so they purposely voted against it to pretend like it doesn't bother them.
Let me ask you this question.
What?
Do people in Missouri go to Raging Rivers?
No.
Is there a water park over here that I don't know? What is it?
Six Flags.
Oh, it's Six Flags.
Hurricane Harbor.
Yeah.
And we used to have Wet Willie's water slide.
But isn't
Wet Willie's water slide was made of concrete.
Hurricane Harbor's got to be way more expensive than Raging Rivers because you have to pay to get into the
Six
park.
Flags, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. I'm just wondering if anybody on the border over there used the Brussels ferry or what's the other one? The Golden Eagle ferry to get across the river.
Did you ever go to Wet Willie's water slide off of Highway 44?
I remember hearing about it, but I never went to it.
Matt Pauley's got a great Wet Willie story that you got to talk to him about.
Dude.
Michael Kelly has a better one.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what's the Michael Kelly one?
In short, when Michael Kelly was a little boy, like 5, and he had all sisters, they went to Wet Willie's.
Oh,
and he put on his swim trunks.
Yes,
and he thought the tie in the swim trunks was you were supposed to tie it to an important appendage for gentlemen. And he tied the tie around the appendage in his swim trunks. And
wow, why would you?
He was 5.
We need to talk to him about that again.
Yeah.
And
Well,
our final matchup, the Harry Blackman region.
I'm mad about this one.
You are?
Yes.
No, this is exactly what should have
No,
happened.
I wanted an upset.
The number 1 seed in the Harry Blackman region, Lewis and Clark, defeated Korn with 74% of the vote. So Lewis and Clark moves on. And
I was on Team Korn.
That right there is your final 4. It'll be Lewis and Clark versus Raging Rivers and Jackie Joyner Kersey versus Fast Eddies. That'll be your final 4 matchup in the Whitey Herzog Memorial 618 Day Tournament.
When can people start voting in the final 4?
An hour?
In 1
In 1 hour, says Matt Pajeski.
At Chris Amy KMOX.
On Twitter. Go there and vote for the 618 Day Final 4. Let's talk some ball. When we come back, Matt Pauley will give us the birds on KMOX.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or being threatened by the IRS that your wages are about to be garnished or bank accounts are going to be levied? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has professionals ready to fight for you. Their enrolled agents, tax attorneys, and CPAs have saved millions of dollars for taxpayers just like you. They won't just resolve your tax problems. They'll most importantly protect your wages, bank accounts, and all your assets from being taken by the IRS. Call for a free consultation. 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174 or go to alliestaxrelief.com.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Is your old garage door a real clunker? Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is paying cash for your clunkers now. They'll haul away your old garage door and give you instant credit towards the new insulated door. $200 for the first garage door and $100 for each additional door. Cash in your old opener too. It's cash for clunkers now at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Convenient, free in-home estimates. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com or call 314-781-5200.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
At Onder Law, we deliver big judgments for the little guy. Onder Law takes on the biggest industries and holds them accountable. Call today for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
11:30, Sun 87 downtown at the Arch. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson looks at the Supreme Court's decision to weigh state restrictions on gender transition care for young people.
The parents here are saying, you're taking away my fundamental right to help direct the medical care of my children.
More in the news at noon. Stalled vehicle 270 south of Manchester in the right lane. Forecast for this afternoon, high of 97. Real feel about 100. For tonight, clear, warm, low 80. For tomorrow, hot, humid with a thunderstorm in the afternoon. High temperature of about 100. Real feels to 105. Right now, sun 87 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Design Air, St. Louis's leading air conditioning repair service. Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, this is the perfect time to make sure your air conditioner is ready for what could be a brutal summer. Do what my wife Beth and I do. Contact Design Air at designairservice.com.
Now at pedalthecause.org, register for our 15th anniversary event. Coming this September 21st and 22nd, because the more we ride, the more we raise. The more we raise, the more we research. The more we research, the more we all ring. Together, we will create a world without cancer. Learn more at pedalthecause.org.
Don't let tunnels ruin your lawn this summer. We've had all this rain. Take advantage of it. Your yard looks beautiful, front yard, backyard. The last thing you want are moles tearing up your yard, ruining your grass. At Rottler, well, they can take care of moles for you. They don't charge per mole. They have a fixed budget for the year. That means there's no charge for follow-up visits in between their regular services. Rottler offers the most advanced and highly effective mole elimination program available. And this program includes year-round warranted protection. And I think the best part is non-invasive exterior treatments, which means they get it. Your schedule is busy, so you don't even have to be home for Rottler to do the service. Don't forget they can also take care of stinging insects, which emerge during the summer. Bees and wasps, yep, they ruin parties, but they can also damage your home. Carpenter bees bore holes into decks and other wood structures, and bees and wasps, they'll build nests and eat any wall voids that they can find. Call Rottler today, 877-ROTTLER or rottler.com.
The KMOX Studios, powered by Onder Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com.
That's GetJim.com.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, and we are joined by Dr. Slade Stratton, dermatologic surgeon.
It's kind of one-stop shopping, and everybody is on the same medical record, and everybody communicates all the time. So it's one big team. It can easily coordinates all of different specialties in medicine that might be needed to treat your skin cancer.
Special thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, go to siteman.wustl.edu.
News Radio KMOX, the home of the Cardinals.
Hi, I'm Paul Goldschmidt. I'm Cardinals outfielder Lars Nootbaar. I'm Woodson Contreras. Now, Chris and Amy give you the birds.
I'm Adam Wainwright, and you're listening to the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Pujols swings, and he drives this one left field, down the line, and it's a gunner! A gunner for Albert Pujols, and home run 703. 2-0 Cardinals. Go Paulie!
Paulie's a great name. Watch your mouth, Paulie.
Go Paulie!
Listen, Paulie, you want to buy this car,
Want me to get you beer, Paulie?
Come on, Paul, why don't you screw your head on right?
What'd you do for Paulie? Anything? Me, Paulie, I was responsible.
Albert Pujols, one of the all-time greats.
Oh, my gosh.
And for most people, a surefire future Hall of Famer, but not to everybody.
And I'm probably a favorite. You gotta, what psychopath hates Albert Pujols?
Well, I know a guy.
Matt Pauley?
On the Quiver River Electric guest line. It is Matt Pauley, who is our sports fellow. We'll have the pregame show of the Cardinals and Braves tonight at 5:50. 6:45 first pitch, all here on KMOX. Lance Lynn is getting the start tonight. Let's bring in Mr. Pauley, who is back with us. Hello, Matt. Why do you hate Albert?
I don't hate Albert.
That's not what Twitter says.
That's not what we have been telling people.
All right. So there was the thing when Willie Mays passed away, the discussion began who is the greatest living ball player right now. Because you could have easily made that argument for him before he had passed away. And my vote would be with Barry Bonds. That's even with everything that went on. That you look at the numbers alone, and I think that's where my vote would be. I think when you're talking, Albert Pujols is obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer and one of the greatest players to ever play the game before. And I hate that this conversation went down the path that it went down, because it turned me into this thing where I was in this corner of it almost looked like I'm bashing him. I'm not bashing him at all. Again, first ballot Hall of Famer. My issue with his career is that when he went to Anaheim, he had 9 years. So about half of his career, he was really good at times. He was really bad at times. There was points in his time in Anaheim that he was statistically the worst player in baseball. Of his 9 years in Anaheim, he had an OPS over 800 once. as opposed to his time in St. Louis, where he generally had an OPS over 1,000. I think there's only 3 years in his St. Louis time where it was not over 1,000. So if he would have kept up some version of those numbers from St. Louis to Anaheim, then it's almost a no-brainer that he is the greatest living ball player. But because he had 9 years in Anaheim with an OPS below 800, and at times, so when we're talking about greatest players living, so we're forgetting the whole like first ballot Hall of Famer thing and stuff. He's obviously that, but when you take it to that next level of talking about the greatest player who is still walking the face of the earth, there's a lot of things to look at, and overall career numbers is part of that equation. And his overall career numbers, if you just look at them in the aggregate and don't dissipate the St. Louis time versus the Anaheim time, you can easily make that argument. But when you really dive in and look at it, he had a good portion of his career, 45 to 50% of his career, where he was kind of at times pedestrian, at times very good. His first year with the Angels was very solid, 859 OPS. The home run numbers continued at a very high pace. Obviously, that's why he got to the 703 in his career. But my only point was, when we're talking about the greatest of all time, there's a lot of different things that you look at. And one of those things for me would be he had 9 years in Anaheim where the numbers did not hold up.
So what I hear,
he was an all-star once in Anaheim. He went 9 years without playing in an all-star game.
So what you're saying is he's in the Hall of Very Good?
No, he is one of the greatest players ever. But when we're talking
But
about,
why do you hate him though?
Oh my gosh. This is my first time back with you guys in 2 weeks. I hated the conversation so much. This is what you guys have done to me. I hated the conversation so much that was going on Twitter that I deleted the tweets, and I never delete tweets. In fact, I am critical of people who delete tweets, but stuff just kept coming at me where it's like, oh, this guy does. No, like that's not true at all. And I think I'm making a very, I don't know. We can talk about something else. I don't want to talk about this. Why are you doing this to me? I haven't slept in 2 weeks, and this is the first thing you're doing to me.
We didn't tell you to have a baby. That's your fault.
That is true. I did not say to have a baby, but I did say, I like Albert Pujols, and you lost your mind.
Matt, we love you. Hey,
is that it? Are we done? Are we done? Talk to you guys on Thursday?
No, we're not. We are not done with you by damn sight. Let's talk about this current Cardinals team. Yesterday, Sonny Gray was, as they say, flirting with a perfect game. The Cardinals swept that series against the Giants. So pretty successful weekend. They find themselves a couple of games over 500 for the first time this year.
Yeah, Katie Wu from The Athletic had this on Twitter yesterday. Since Oliver Marmol got thrown out of that game in Milwaukee, the Cardinals have the best record in the National League since then. They're playing some really good baseball right now. You lament what happened in Miami the series before, losing a couple one-run games, going to extra innings, all that sort of stuff. Felt like they could have swept that series. We could have been talking about winning 7 of the last 7 because they finished that series against the Cubs with a win as well. So you lament the fact that they lose a couple games against the Marlins, but that was a really good weekend against the Giants. They're arguably playing the best baseball in the National League right now, at least since Ollie got thrown out of that game. They're within 5 games of first place. They're in a wild card spot. Like, they're right there. I think we all know that this is still a somewhat flawed team, that there's still some things that they could do to add to the roster. But I do think what we're seeing right now is much closer to what I was. I can't speak for the collective we, but what I was expecting out of them when the season got started.
So here they are. As we mentioned, they're a couple of games over 500. You've been paying attention to the rest of the division. It's still kind of where it was, I think, about the last time we spoke, despite the fact a couple of weeks have gone by. Anything change for you in terms of what you think they are within the context of the division? Certainly we know that in the wild card race, they're right there, but so is almost every team in the National League.
Not really. Like, I've always thought that this team had, at no point in time. Now, did I start to lose a little bit of faith when they were on that losing streak going into that Milwaukee series they were talking about? Yeah, like it felt like they were another loss away from potential changes happening. So I'm not going to sit here and have revisionist history that I wasn't concerned about some things that are going on. I'm still concerned about some things, but I've pretty much been pretty steadfast in my belief that this is a team that's pretty good. And it's in a bad division and has a very good chance of winning the division. And I continue to believe that right now.
All right, Matt Pauley, we have a question for you. First of all, is there anything else baseball-wise that any thoughts, any Cardinals thoughts you would like to impart to us before we move on?
I don't think so. I'm ready to move on.
Oh, okay. Do you have a Wet Willie's story?
Wet Willie's water slide?
I do.
Can we hear it?
Oh, it's gross. You ready for this?
No.
It ended up with me I was in the hospital. Like, do you know what I'm about to tell you?
No.
Okay.
No. We just
Okay.
know that
All
Michael
right.
Kelly has a Wet Willie's water slide story, and he told his story.
I can't imagine you have the same story.
Okay. All right. So I didn't hear that part of it. So
Well,
I'm at Wet Willie's,
yeah.
and I'm going down, but I'm going down like face down backwards.
Wait,
and
face down.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Foot
Yeah.
first,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you're laying on your stomach.
Right. And so my foot is kind of like sort of bouncing off the top of the thing, and it hit a point where the fiberglass had a little bit of a crack in it.
Oh.
And the fiberglass went straight up my big toenail, and I had to go to the emergency room, and they had to remove my entire toenail off my big toe.
Why would you do that?
Was there blood in the tunnel?
I don't know. It was so, and the worst part of, like, I'm one of those type of people that like numbing stuff doesn't really work on me. And they did one huge needle in my toe, and the doctor was like, "Oh, that should be good. Maybe you'll need a second one." And he like taps my toe like it's no big deal. I'm like, "Yeah, that still hurts." So then they do a second one, and he's like, "There's no way." And this time he like hits the toe, and it's still like nothing. So they have to do a third one, and the needle was it went and like hit the bone of my big toe. I could feel it. It was horrible. It's one of the worst experiences of my life.
So when did this happen? You were in your 30s?
I was probably like 14, 15 years old.
Oh my gosh. Did they
Jeez,
have
Matt.
to close Wet Willie's?
No, of course not. They wouldn't close it for that.
So they're like, okay.
Oh,
well,
man.
we're glad you're okay. Michael
Wow, so
Kelly.
you had no, like when you asked me that question,
I didn't know.
felt like
No.
Matt.
Okay.
We were talking about Raging Rivers in Grafton, which is part of our 618 tournament, and they lost. We were talking about
I've never
that, and I asked, does anybody from Missouri go over to Raging Rivers?
And we said no, because you either
I forgot about Wet Willie's.
growing up, if you're an 80s kid, you went to Wet Willie's. Otherwise, now I believe you can go to the Six Flags, Hurricane Harbor. But Matt, I'm going to shorten this story. But basically, Michael Kelly was like 5 years old, and he had all sisters, and they were going to go to Wet Willie's for the day. And he was so excited, and he dressed himself, and he put on his swim trunks. And you know how swim trunks all have a tie in them?
Yep.
And he, I guess, thought that the tie, you were supposed to tie it around
Your thingy.
an appendage. And he did. And he swam all day with that tied around his appendage.
Oh. I think that's worse. I think that's worse than mine.
And apparently he said when he got home, he couldn't get it off. And so then he came out in his swim trunks.
Michael Kelly.
Hanging there. And his dad was like, oh my gosh.
Michael Kelly, when he was a child, tied his drawstring around his junk, and now he wants to be your consultant.
So now we know why he doesn't have children.
You probably can't. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah, your story is not as bad as his. I was expecting you to have some kind of run-in with a Karen or something.
Oh, that's awesome. See, now you don't feel so bad, right?
Wait, what do we decide a male Karen was? What are we calling it?
A Matt?
No.
No.
What do we
I
call
forgot
it?
what it was.
Steven or Kevin? Steven?
I think it's Kevin. He's a real Kevin. Anyway, yeah, Matt. So no, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Pretty good story
Yeah.
from you.
Okay.
Pre-game show tonight, 5:50. And the first pitch at 6:45, Cardinals and Braves. This will be an interesting one tonight. How do you like the pitching matchup, Lynn and Schwellenbach?
Yeah, Schwellenbach's a good young pitcher, throws really, really hard. So when the Cardinals have issues offensively, it's when they face guys who throw hard. So that's, you don't love the matchup, but at the same time, they've been scoring a good number of runs here recently. So it'll be fun to see.
All right. Good luck tonight. Be careful. Thanks for being with us.
You bet.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
Better get that Odyssey app, AUDACY. And if you're in the St. Louis area, you can listen to the Cardinals game on it tonight and listen to our show live and get the podcast. Right, Amy?
That's exactly right. And also, if you would like the very best deck to add value and space to your home, or maybe a fence for a little bit more privacy, a little bit of separation and definition in your backyard, here's what you need to do. Visit stlfenceworks.com. stlfenceworks.com. Adding a new fence or a deck adds more value for your home than the sum of its parts, right? Because once it's put together, it adds a whole new element to your home for hosting parties, for having friends and family over, for spending time outside with your own family. And at STL Fenceworks, they build every fence and deck with the highest quality American-made material. Also, they do so with a team that cares about your project as much as you do. They use top-notch craftsmanship and installation techniques, which they back up with a lifetime warranty that surpasses anything else in the industry. That's why they say at STL Fenceworks, your satisfaction is their passion. Visit them today at stlfenceworks.com.
The KMOX Soccer Showcase presented by Michelob Ultra heads to Arnold Wednesday, June 26 at Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill. A limited number of fans can come and get an autograph or picture with City midfielder Chris Durkin. He fires and he scores! Chris Durkin! Register to win great prizes. Enjoy the great food and a cold drink. City midfielder Chris Durkin. Hot Shots in Arnold Wednesday, June 26 starting at 6. Presented by Michelob Ultra and Together Credit Union. Details at KMOX.com/events.
Summertime is crazy time for families, and nobody can go without hot water. If you're in need of a water heater, all you have to do is send a picture of your water heater to Beast Plumbing for an estimate and same-day replacements. Call 314-500-LEAK and tell them Bo sent you to Beast Plumbing.
The new Genesis of St. Charles showroom has been open for a while now, and the place is buzzing. People are coming by just to check out the gorgeous showroom and, of course, to check out the inventory, which gets bigger and bigger each month. At Genesis of St. Charles, it is the luxury experience you would expect while buying a luxury car and then some. Just a quarter mile east of Mid-Rivers Mall Drive off 70, or you can find them online at genesisofstcharles.com. Offering a full line of luxurious Genesis vehicles, Genesis of St. Charles.
And paid for by AG Marketing Group. Attention timeshare owners. If you need to get rid of your timeshare for any reason, please listen to the following message. Getting out of a timeshare commitment is not easy, and it takes time. But we specialize in helping consumers legally get rid of their expensive timeshares forever. Can't get the vacation dates that work for you? Maybe you felt taken advantage of or forced into the timeshare? Maybe you just can't continue to shoulder those monthly payments any longer. If you need to eliminate your timeshare commitment, then you need to take down this number, 800-866-7061. We will safely and legally get rid of your timeshare payments forever, all with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't continue to let your timeshare be a financial burden to you and your loved ones. Call us now at 800-866-7061. The call is free. The consultation is free. Call 800-866-7061. That's 800-866-7061. Again, 800-866-7061.
Hi, I am Jackie Brock, the wife of our beloved Lou Brock, St. Louis Cardinal legend and Hall of Famer. I have a new resident. I am so excited to tell you about Fairwinds River's Edge in St. Charles, Missouri. It is my new residence where I find everything for life and living. The staff is incredible, kind, warm, cordial, supportive, everything that you would want in an independent living community. The activities are innumerable, and we find the food the best in town. Call in today about the $99 move-in special. 636-754-2317. I'll see you there.
I see clearly now, thanks to the doctors, Birdie, Mahotra, Brusati, Royer, and Barry. You can too. Go to youridoc.com.
Zero Res has the best deal of the summer for you right now. 3 rooms clean starting at just $129 and take $50 off your air duct cleaning. Call 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com. Say it backwards or forwards. It spells the same, Zero Res.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been hurt on the job, you need the best. Onder Law. Hurt on the job? Call Onder Law today for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
Ordinary radio is overrated. Extraordinary radio now. Chris and Amy on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
All right, so Matt Pajeski lied to us. He told us that the 618 tournament, the Whitey Herzog Memorial, was going to take an hour. It hasn't. It's live now. So if you follow us on Twitter at Chris Amy KMOX, you can vote for the Final Four matchups. And I also lied to you when I said that Raging Rivers lost.
Yeah,
they didn't. They won.
No, but we all knew that was you. That's
okay, yeah,
on
I
you.
made a mistake.
Entirely on you.
And
well,
I'm correcting it. So Raging Rivers is taking on Lewis and Clark, and Jackie Joyner Kersey faces Fast Eddies. So that is your Final Four. Fast Eddies, JJK, Raging Rivers, and Lewis and Clark. Hey, Amy, real quick, I got to tell you something about our producer over here.
Yeah.
Who said something pretty outrageous the other day. And he goes, hey, you know something weird my grandpa does?
oh, okay.
Yeah. He says he'll sit at the phone and let it ring, and he checks the answering machine to see who it is, and then he'll pick up if he wants to talk to them.
That is what you do?
That's what Matt's grandfather does.
I know.
And so Matt proceeds to explain to me what screening calls is. Like I don't know. He's 15 years old.
Yeah.
He's just learning about screening calls. And he brought it up to me in a way like
You're never going to believe
you're not going to
this.
believe what my grandpa does.
Yeah.
He waits for the phone to ring, and then he waits for the answering machine to pick it up, and then the person starts talking.
That's because Matt's 15 and you could be his grandpa.
But you know what that is?
Of course I know what
Everybody
that is.
used to screen calls.
Well, that's because we had another kid who is Matt's age, 15, watching TV, and there are ads now, and goes, ugh, this is what TV has become. Now where there are going to be ads all the time.
Who said that?
A 15-year-old. Well, 17-year-old. Because they're not used to ads. And they're like, this is what TV has become. We're entering the age of ads. And like, we've been living in the age of ads. They were called commercials. And for a hot minute, there were no ads when you got certain streaming services. And then they realized, which I don't know, who could have ever anticipated this? I think we're losing revenue by not having commercials. And I think we could make more money by adding commercials. And that's what the companies did. So for a hot minute, we had no commercials, but it was during Matt, 15-year-old Matt's lifetime. So Matt is now just learning about screening calls. I bet he doesn't even know what a phone book is.
Do you know what a phone book is?
A what?
Seriously, do you know what it is?
It's got everybody's phone numbers in the book.
Have you seen a phone book?
No, I don't think so.
How thick do you think it is?
Oh, those things are big, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big, though? You just showed us like
10,000 pages.
Kinda.
Do you know the difference between the white pages and the yellow pages?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. Is one for businesses, one for people?
Very good.
Very good.
That's a guess.
Which is which?
I have no idea. White pages are people.
Very good.
Very good.
Wow.
And yellow pages are for the businesses.
That's right. And you could buy bigger, almost like advertising in a newspaper. You could buy a bigger section, right?
Okay.
You could pay for more space.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I love hearing from younger people.
Yeah.
I'm trying so hard to
really, it doesn't seem like you're trying.
against.
It doesn't.
Well,
it doesn't.
I'm
feel
trying
like it.
to make you stop, which is not working. But it's I don't want to be the dude who thinks that everything that younger people do is stupid,
Mhm.
and I know better because I'm older. Because it's not true. Sometimes younger people have it right, but man, it really does feel like a lot of younger people now do not know about anything that happened before they were
Yeah.
born.
But I've said this too. A lot of it is not their fault. And what I mean by that, we didn't have streaming services. We didn't have iPods and now iPhones and smart streaming music, everything that you can customize to listen to what you want when you want. End of story. I had 2, 4, 5, 11, 24, and 30 on TV. Those are the stations I had. So I watched MASH because it was on. There was nothing else on. I listened to music in the car because we listened to music radio and my dad picked it out. So you were exposed to other generations.
You used to make kids watch and be exposed
You
to
didn't
things
have
that you
any other
watched.
options.
Yeah, right. Maybe parents should force their kids
Fun
to do
fact,
things now.
this song came out and was #1 hit when Ranj was born.
You're like 4 years younger than me, dork. It's Chris
I'm
and Amy.
8 years younger than you are.
You are not 8 years
am.
younger than me.
You're
Okay.
48.
No, I'm not.
How old are you?
I'm going to kill you, but not really because I love you. We'll tell you about some things happening around St. Louis coming up next on KMOX.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Oops. Ever had your singing lessons cut short by icy water?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Say goodbye to those cold notes with Navien tankless water heaters. With Navien, you'll hit all the right notes without the surprise chill. So keep singing and let Navien keep the hot water flowing. And get ready for the encore when you get your utility bill.
La 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 la.
Navien tankless water heaters. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, when you go to the Audiology Center, you'll see a doctor of audiology. And with us right now, Dr. Colleen Bosler. Dr. Bosler, what are some of the signs of hearing loss?
Well, it's a number of things. Sometimes loved ones notice a person asking others to repeat themselves, or the television is too loud. What people tend to notice first with hearing loss is the loss of clarity. They can hear people talking, but they cannot always understand what's being said. That's because the hearing loss can cause you to miss certain consonant sounds, and those consonant sounds give us the detail to the word. A hearing aid can help bring back those details and give you a sense of clarity that you're missing.
Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center with 3 locations in the greater St. Louis area. Call for an appointment, 636-441-7470. Online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12 noon, it's a sunny sky, 88 degrees downtown at the Arch. The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Our top story this hour, the Supreme Court decides to weigh state restrictions on gender transition care for young people. CBS News legal analyst Jessica Levinson.
These are teens who identify as transgender who are saying, but if I didn't identify as transgender, then some of these treatments would be available to me. So this is a violation of the 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause. You're treating similarly situated people differently, and you don't have a good enough reason to do so.
4 black bear sightings have been confirmed in St. Francis County. Conservation agent Austin Davis tells KMOX when black bears wander into the city like one did in Farmington, they have to be shown they are not welcome.
We use noises, chase them off. We also have a beanbag and rubber bullets. It does not hurt the bear or kill it. It just stings them.
Davis says black bears rarely attack people, but they will go after pets and trash bins. He says mama black bears can be very aggressive towards people if her cubs are nearby. Police say a young black bear has been spotted in Sunset Hills, which could be the same one seen in Baldwin over the weekend. CBS's Jonah Kaplan is in Spencer, Iowa, one of many communities in the nation's midsection flooded after heavy rains.
We've actually made our way to a town called Spencer here in Iowa, which is just a little bit of northeast of Sioux City. And the bridge, the river, it's about a half a mile from here. So all this water is from a historic crest from this river that's moved well beyond the bridge.
No daytime heat for the Cardinals today. It's a 6:45 start tonight at Busch Stadium. KMOX broadcaster John Rooney says he likes what he's seen from the lineup lately.
When you look at the young guys and what they're doing in Burleson and Wynn and what Brendan Donovan has been able to do, he's just driving in runs again.
Lance Lynn gets the start tonight for the Cards against the Braves. The KMOX business desk. We're saving more.
Employees are contributing to their 401ks at record rates. An annual report by Vanguard found that the average percent of salary funneled into the plans in 2023 maintained the previous year's record pace of 11.7%. That's when you combine contributions from workers and their employers. What did change was the number of hardship withdrawals. They were up 3.6% from 2.8% in 2022. Kimberly Adams, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel up 295 points this hour to 39,445.
Mostly sunny and hot this afternoon with a high of 97. AccuWeather real field temperatures around 100. Mainly clear and warm tonight, though 80. Tomorrow, partly sunny, breezy, very hot and humid. Watch out for an afternoon thunderstorm, high 100. I'm AccuWeather's Joe Lundberg on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Right now, we've got sunshine across the region, and it's 88 in Florissant, 89 St. Peter's, 88 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Where opinions collide, laughter resonates, and the unexpected is always invited. The Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
A big week for the Supreme Court of the United States. It's heading into its final week starting today with about 1/4 of the cases still undecided. So there are 15 cases that remain unresolved. The court heard 61 cases this term. There are some big ones still remaining, Ranj. They are weighing particularly that people are focused on whether former President Donald Trump is immune from criminal prosecution in the election interference case against him. Now, this is still 2 months after hearing arguments. And other cases involve abortion and then social media. So a wide array of some consequential cases here. And a couple things that are interesting. It's not the court. Going back to last year, it's not as driven by ideology as one may think as it is by other legal considerations. I know there are a lot of concerns here that judges are voting based on our perception of the culture wars, but 50% of the Supreme Court cases were unanimous, and only 8% of cases were 6-3 with Republicans on one side and Democrats on the other. Only 8% were that way.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see, though, with some of these bigger cases, what ends up happening, in particular the immunity case, which a lot of people believe shouldn't even be argued in the first place, that it should have been dismissed outright, that they never should have even spent time on this. It's also delaying other cases, obviously. What will be fascinating, I think, Amy, is to see when they release their when they announce that one in particular, because the presidential debate happens on Thursday night on CNN between former President Trump and current President Biden, and whether or not it will influence the way the debate goes or how the former president ends up behaving during the debate, if it changes things, if it emboldens him during that debate. So I don't know what they're going to do, but it will be really fascinating to see what it is they decide. So that is one of the cases, obviously. Over the weekend, 1 person dead, 5 were injured in a shooting downtown here in St. Louis, and it happened early Sunday morning near 10th and Market Streets. At least 6 people that we know of, as I mentioned, were shot. One of them has been killed. The officers on the scene said that the shooting happened near 10th and Market. So if you're wondering, it's just a couple of blocks northwest of Busch Stadium. And while the numbers that we have seen or that we have been told are that violent acts of crime like this are statistically down from the year before at the same quarter, you still don't want to see anything like this happen in the heart of the city.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to see it happen anywhere. I mean, it's when you see numbers like that, I mean, technically, I know there's not a absolute technical definition of a mass shooting. I think the FBI says it's when 4 or more people are murdered in one spot. I think not just shot, but I mean, you're kind of, okay, well, then it may be like, where did they get shot and they were killed? They weren't killed. It is upsetting to see these numbers. And as you mentioned, right there at 10th and Market.
It's only a few blocks from here.
It's the heart of downtown. It's Market Street. And it's things like that are going to hurt the narrative that St. Louis is getting safer. Because you can give them numbers all you want, but when they wake up, rub their eyes on Sunday morning, and then they see that on the news, that it wasn't just one person shot somewhere in the city. It was 6 people shot in the heart of downtown. It takes a lot of really positive numbers when it comes to fighting crime to overcome that.
But we do need to pay attention to numbers. And I think it's on all of us to do that and take all of the context and all of the information in. And when you talk about mass shootings, Amy, this event that happened also over the weekend in Creve Coeur at the AMC Creve Coeur 12 Cinema on Olive Boulevard. This is kind of the thing that we're talking about here. And it's sort of a traditional way of thinking about mass shootings, because you remember the Aurora shooting. There was a guy came into a movie theater and shot the place up
in Aurora, Colorado,
and killed a bunch of people. But at this theater at 5:30 in the afternoon on Saturday afternoon, a juvenile stood up and started shooting with a bean gun. It was like a pellet gun sort of thing.
Well,
and so that they're calling it either a gel gun or a water bead blaster. It sprays pellets and it has about a 500 round cartridge. The problem with this is, and nobody was killed, obviously, but you're setting off fear. Because people have in their minds what's happened, things that have happened in movie theaters and grocery stores, and where somebody gets up and starts shooting, that creates panic. There's a
lot of problems with this.
There's so many problems with it.
And the thing is, it was the animated film Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
The kids that are in my life have been talking about seeing Inside Out 2. This is the movie theater they would go to. We could easily have been one of the families there with little kids, 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 15-year-olds. It doesn't matter, but you're at a movie theater. Not only that, but it was a young boy. He stood up. He was wearing a mask. So he's wearing a mask. He stands up towards the ends of the movie, starts firing a plastic bead into the crowd. So I don't know how he doesn't know exactly what he's doing as far as copycatting the Aurora shooter, because that's, the Aurora shooter was in a movie theater. It's so appalling, offensive, and that a young boy would think to do this, would want to do this, would be so idiotic or cruel to think that it would be funny. And I know, spending time, this is I feel like radio is my second job. Being around kids was my first job. That's what I did for 20 years. Little kids, yes, they're resilient. But when you are 8 years old and something like that happens into a theater, and like you said, the fear that it instills.
Yeah.
I mean, those are core
Just because
memories.
we know the climate. We know what it's like in this country.
And their kids, the core memories of being afraid in a spot that's supposed to be fun and safe. I mean, the juvenile courts obviously will
He was arrested.
deal with this.
So we should make that clear. He was arrested, but people, the police department still wants anybody who witnessed it to call in because as much evidence as they can get to, end up prosecuting this person, they're going to do it. So they want you to come forward.
Caught several blocks down the road, which leads me to believe like he was unsupervised, like he wasn't, with his parents. I didn't
It was
hear
with a
anything
group of
about that.
kids.
Okay,
Yeah.
We've been talking about this heat over the week now, and how hot, unseasonably hot it's been in St. Louis. And I was like, well, it's not that bad here. And I, goodness gracious, got sick with heat exhaustion on Saturday. But following what's happening in the Hajj pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia, where they are looking at temperatures over 120 degrees Fahrenheit. So the Hajj pilgrimage is an Islamic pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia where all of these pilgrims of Muslim faith walk for miles and miles on end, but they're in scorching temperatures. And most of them that died, most of the 1,300 or more people who died, made this pilgrimage through permits, or I should say through companies that didn't have permits. There was an American couple. They saved up $23,000 to pay for a tourist company to, help guide their tour on the Hajj pilgrimage and go with them. That company was supposed to have all their permits and their food and water. These companies were not regulated. They were not permitted. Just, a tragedy of people dying along the way.
Yeah, and like you said, 1,300 people died there. The record temperatures for them, it has been 20 years since they've gotten that high in June. 126 degrees it reached at one point. Just unbelievable stuff.
And I will say, keep drinking water, and I'm pretty confident in the heat. I'm like, I run, and I was feeling fine, and then all of a sudden something hit me out of nowhere, and the next thing I know I was hooked up to an IV. So be careful.
There could be a massive upset. We know one is already brewing, and it could be an historic upset that occurs tonight in sports. We will tell you about that next on KMOX.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-403-5569 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-403-5569. That's 800-403-5569. What do you have to lose? Call 800-403-5569. Again, 800-403-5569.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1904 $20 Gold Liberty coins have been found. These gorgeous 1904p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-3077. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $75 value free with every order. Call 1-800-973-3077 now to secure your 1904P $20 Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-3077.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming and stressful, especially with challenges like record inflation, rising interest rates, potential recessions, and the uncertain future of Social Security. These factors can significantly impact your life savings. So, what steps are you taking to help preserve your financial future? Join the All Financial Group at their office Thursday, July 18th for an informative presentation. Their goal? To help you gain valuable tools, insights, and proven strategies to make informed decisions about your retirement planning.
Now, I've got a list of roadblocks that I have people ask me about on a regular basis. Inflation, taxes, what's going on with the election.
Seats are limited, so registration is required. Call 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or visit yourmoneymattersstl.com to secure your spot. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Come on in to Total Wine and More. Prices much lower than a grocery store. Wine, spirits, beer for a whole lot less. Walking down the aisles makes you stop and say, yes. With thousands of bottles that you get to explore, Total Wine has everything you need and more. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Attention talcum powder users. Have you had ovarian or gynecological cancer? A proposed $8 billion plan will pay those who believe they got sick from using talc products like Johnson's Baby Powder and Shower to Shower. Johnson & Johnson maintains its products are safe. You have until July 26, 2024 to vote to accept or reject the plan. For more information, visit officialtalclaims.com or call 888-431-4056. Paid for by LLT Management, LLC.
KMOX, where every crack of the bat resonates with tradition, passion, and the spirit of Cardinals Nation.
Amy, I love a good upset, a good comeback, a good sports story. Now, in this particular case, not very happy because our local guy, Matthew Tkachuk, who plays for the Florida Panthers in the NHL, in the midst of a Stanley Cup final right now, and that team is on the verge of blowing a massive lead in the series. They were up 3-0. Well, Game 7 is happening tonight. You know what that means when there's a Game 7? That means they lost 3 straight.
Let's go, Oilers!
And Amy hates Matthew Tkachuk in St. Louis because she's rooting against them.
I love Matthew Tkachuk, and he is going to be just fine. The cup belongs in Canada, not Miami, where nobody watches hockey. Miami is just it's a loud, boisterous city. No one's from Miami, really. It's just people go there and party and go to South Beach, and they don't care about hockey. There is nothing to do in Edmonton but play hockey.
But this is
no one goes to Edmonton to party. No one says, hey, I won the lottery. Let's go to Edmonton. They deserve the Stanley Cup.
Miami doesn't?
No.
Okay. Because they're fun otherwise?
No, I mean, I'm not
They have something to be excited
Miami's
about.
got a million things. They don't need the Stanley Cup. Edmonton needs the Stanley Cup. It would be the first time since the 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs that a team came back from a 3-game deficit to force a Game 7 and win. The Detroit Red Wings forced a Game 7 in 1945, but lost to the Toronto Maple Leafs. All right, I'm so excited about the Olympics. Very excited. And this year they're in Paris, which you got to think if you're an Olympic athlete, you're kind of paying attention to, okay, where's the city that I'm going to go to? Sometimes, some cities are probably more fun than others. Some are more authoritarian than others. Paris is going to be a fun one, except they don't believe in air conditioning really in Paris. So only 1 in 10 homes or apartments has air conditioning in Europe. And in Paris, the number is even less than that. So those running the Olympics in Paris, the Paris Olympic Committee, they decided we're going to have an Olympic village that is so friendly for the environment. So what they're going to do is not really have regular air conditioners in the Olympic Village. The objective is to keep the rooms between 73 and 79 degrees Fahrenheit. 79 degrees. Can you imagine sleeping at 79 degrees Fahrenheit? So the U.S. athletes, as well as other athletes from the UK, from Germany, Australia, Italy, Canada, they're bringing their own air conditioners. They are shipping their air conditioners to Olympic Village.
Now, while I get it, okay, I understand you're an Olympic athlete. You have a very strict diet, strict routine.
All
You're
about
used
routine.
to things. You kind of want to keep everything as close to normal as possible when you're then going to go compete at the highest level on the biggest stage for the sport that you're in. That makes sense to me. But also, when I think about this, if I take a 30,000 foot view of, you say they want it to be 74 degrees. And
73 to 79.
Between 74 and 79, or 72 and 79.
Hot.
Really? Shouldn't, if you think about it, that should be comfortable to us.
Not.
It should be comfortable to human beings to be able to sleep in 72 degree or
Let me tell you
74
this.
degree weather. It
Making-
should be.
Keeping Olympic Village hot is not, it's not going to save the planet. And also, it's the worst group of people to try
no.
this on.
Yeah, but no.
These people are so fine-tuned where even, you could lose a race by 1/1000th of a second because maybe you sweated out 2 more drops of sweat than you would have if the room were 65 degrees.
I get it. I get it. And I like it to be cold too. But what I'm saying is maybe we shouldn't be used to getting to sleep when it's 68 degrees indoors and 105 outdoors. We're humans. We got by for so long without air conditioning. We should be able to deal.
Our average lifespan was like
it's 'cause
21.
It's because we were getting eaten by black bears in Baldwin.
You would have been dead a long time ago. Listen, I'm just saying, I think this is so dumb because the Paris mayor, Anne Hidalgo, said, I want the Paris Games to be exemplary from an environmental point of view. You know where I want it to be exemplary from? The gold medal point of view. Let the athletes sleep, be cool, and win gold medals. Okay, speaking of the athletes, I'm a dork for the Olympics. I love it. I eat it up. I fall for all of it. And I've been watching the United States Olympic team trials, the U.S. Olympic team, the toughest team to make. That's their motto. And it's been swimming and diving and track and field. I've had a blast. So the swimming's been going on in Indianapolis. The diving is in Knoxville, Tennessee. And the track and field in Eugene, which is also the national championship. So it's not just the Olympic trials, it's the national championships, which is fun because they're trying to make the team and also win titles. And if people remember, Sha'Carri Richardson was our top 100-meter
and just
sprinter.
missed out.
Well, no,
Right?
she made it 4 years ago. She qualified for the team. I think she won the race, but they found THC in her
That's what it
in her
was.
blood, and
That's
she
right.
had a 1-month suspension. So she missed the Olympics because she must have smoked pot at some point in the past few weeks. Well, this was her yesterday.
Let's see who's going to Paris. It wasn't the best start from Sha'Carri Richardson. Tamari Davis got out better. Now Sha'Carri starts to wind up, but she goes past Jefferson. Sha'Carri Richardson, 10:70.
National champion Sha'Carri Richardson going to Paris, her first Olympic Games. All 3 women who made that team for the 100 meters, they're all first-time Olympians. And let me tell you, Team USA is hot. We are going to crush. Last thing.
I bet she can sleep in 74 degree
Hot,
temps.
hot, hot. I don't think she can.
I bet
She
she
needs to
can.
stay cool. We need to keep Sha'Carri
She
ready to
probably
win a
doesn't
gold
care.
medal. I think she does. She carries. That's her name. It's in her name that she cares. Okay,
I hate you so much.
last thing. You know what I love about Team USA? No other Olympic team looks like Team USA. We're like the song, We Are the World. Everybody's represented on Team USA. You can tell we truly are the melting pot. That's why they say it's the toughest team in the world to make, because we're such a big country, we're such a diverse country, and Team USA is so freaking awesome. I mean, I love it. No one else is like Team USA.
It was a successful weekend for the most famous and well-liked couple in the entire world, Amy. Taylor Swift, who was performing in London, had her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, on the stage for the first time while she was performing. She's never had him on stage. throughout all the time that they have been dating each other. He was there in a tuxedo and top hat, and they had a whole thing where he carried her to this couch. And I thought it was a really nice moment.
No, you
It was a
didn't.
really, yes, I did.
No,
It was a
you
nice
didn't.
moment for this power couple. It is the power couple in the entire world. There's no couple more important than Taylor and Travis.
He
And
was in coattails and
it
a
was
top hat.
It's a coat. It was a costume for the show.
And he carried her onto a couch.
Yes. Part
Why?
of the show.
Did she faint?
Have you ever been to a concert?
Did she need to be rescued?
Have you ever been to a concert?
Did she not have $1 billion?
It's a show, Amy. What do you think
Why
happens
is
in a
he
show?
Why is he not training to win the Super Bowl?
Because it's not training camp time.
He needs to be on his Peloton.
He
and
just
staying
won
in
a
shape.
Super Bowl.
It was a long time ago now.
It was like 5 months.
It's over for the Chiefs.
So you're saying the Chiefs are done now because
Yes.
Travis Kelce,
Yes.
and it's not because Patrick Mahomes is a fraud and he's going to get found out this year?
No, that's your jealousy speaking. Patrick Mahomes is the most genuinely talented, exceptional quarterback in the history of the world.
You know what? I can't wait till they move to Kansas. Yeah, that's Patrick Mahomes.
You
He is
can't tell me Taylor Swift didn't wince a little bit.
Oh, she did, totally.
She winced a lot of it.
When that happened. But guess what?
Ugh.
It didn't turn her off enough because she had him come on stage.
And
Notice
now-
she didn't give him a microphone to sing, but she did have
If
him
one
come
of your
on stage.
girlfriends said, "Here, Ranj, put on this top hat and carry me," would you think she loves and respects me?
Yeah, if I'm dating Taylor Swift and she wants me to be part of her show, I would do that. It's Taylor Swift. Anyway, Amy's a real hater.
They make me want to throw my head against the wall.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't want to hear you badmouth her ever again. Never again will you say a bad word about Taylor Swift on my watch. So, hey, speaking of being out there on another planet, there are astronauts who can't get home.
Stuck in space.
They are stuck in space. We'll give you an update on that when we come back on KMOX.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, and we are joined by Dr. Slade Stratton, dermatologic surgeon. What are the signs and symptoms of skin cancer?
Anything new, growing, changing. And on top of that, for sure, anything that it hurts, all should be concerns that, prompt you to go see your doctor.
Special thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, go to siteman.wustl.edu.
At Odyssey, we believe in casting a wide net to create a diverse and inclusive workforce, as we value the power of community and encourage local organizations to help us in referring qualified applicants to our stations. If you're a community organization interested in receiving our vacancy information, simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com. You'll be directly notified of our open positions. Again, that's equalemployment@odyssey.com. And for our listeners, we invite you to visit odysseyinc.com/careers. There, you'll find an online listing of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
This is Christina Straight with Straight Realty reminding you why pay more than four. In 2003, we had a dream to start a real estate company that would revolutionize the real estate market. Now, 20 years later, after navigating through the many markets' ups and downs, we know exactly how to help you in this challenging time. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Don't give away your hard-earned equity. Give us a call today, 314-441-4444, 314-441-all-fours. And remember, why pay more than four?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Just imagine being walked all over for 36 years. Who would do that? The great customers of Reinhold Flooring, that's who. For over 3.5 decades, Reinhold Flooring has been the mecca for carpet, hardwood, vinyl, laminate, and area rugs. Reinhold Flooring is customer-driven with a focus on top-quality products and installations from the best team in the business. So come on in and walk all over your next flooring at Reinhold Flooring. Visit them at 5429 Telegraph Road in St. Louis or online at reinholdflooring.com. McKelvey Homes waterfront at Wild Horse Village in Chesterfield is selling fast. With just 3 open home sites and 2 quick move-in homes available, you don't want to miss your chance to live in this unique community. Visit McKelveyhomes.com for more information.
12:30, sunshine, 89 degrees downtown at the Arch. And here's what we're following. We're seeing more black bears across the St. Louis area. 4 sightings in St. Francis County, a bear spotted in Sunset Hills, and video taken of a bear in a subdivision in Baldwin near Clayton and Kerrs Mill over the weekend. We've got the latest when it comes to how to respond if you see a black bear. That's coming up in the news at 1 o'clock. On the roads right now, we've got a stall, 270 South Manchester, right lane closed. And the forecast for this afternoon, real feels near 100, air temperature about 97, clear tonight, low 80. Thunderstorm tomorrow with hail and damaging winds. High temperature tomorrow of 100 with real field temperatures at about 105, close to the air temperature record of 102 set in 1954. Right now, sun 89 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Sponsored by Design Air, St. Louis's leading air conditioning repair service. Hey everyone, this is Charlie Brennan. This is the perfect time to make sure your air conditioner is ready for what could be a brutal summer. Do what I've done. Contact Design Air at designairservice.com.
Is your old garage door a real clunker? Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is paying cash for your clunkers now. They'll haul away your old garage door and give you instant credit towards the new insulated door. $200 for the first garage door and $100 for each additional door. Cash in your old opener too. It's cash for clunkers now at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Convenient, free in-home estimates. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com or call 314-781-5200.
Enjoy rounds of golf with friends this summer, courtesy of KMOX and Cutwater. Real cocktails perfectly mixed. Now through July 1st, head to your local Schnucks, Deerbergs, or liquor store. Look for the Cutwater display and scan the QR code to get entered for a chance to win 6 rounds of golf at area courses from Walters Golf Management. You and your friends could hit the links at courses like Gateway National Golf Links, Stonewolf, Far Oaks, and more. No purchase necessary. Open to Missouri residents 21 or older. Details and rules at KMOX.com/contest.
The new Genesis of St. Charles showroom has been open for a while now, and the place is buzzing. People are coming by just to check out the gorgeous showroom and, of course, to check out the inventory, which gets bigger and bigger each month. At Genesis of St. Charles, it is the luxury experience you would expect while buying a luxury car and then some. Just a quarter mile east of Mid-Rivers Mall Drive off 70, or you can find them online at genesisofstcharles.com. Offering a full line of luxurious Genesis vehicles, Genesis of St. Charles.
It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
The KMOX Studios, powered by Onder Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com.
That's GetJim.com.
In the know, on the go. Trust KMOX for local news that impacts St. Louis and the region. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on.
No, these poor astronauts. These poor astronauts on the we're stuck in space. It's not funny. What are you laughing about?
Because they're not going to die. They said if they had to come home, they could.
So reporting says that NASA and Boeing knew that the Starliner capsule had a leak before the launch. We actually heard about that. And currently, the Starliner astronauts are stuck on the International Space Station. They want to be able to take that craft back to the planet. So the launch happened on June 5th, and there was some sort of leak, and they went anyway.
Listen, I'm not a rocket scientist, but even I know you don't want a leaky launch.
No, you don't want to leak helium.
You do not want a leaky launch.
You know why? Because they're all now like, when do we get back home? They found 4 more helium leaks that developed during the trip, and now they're trying to get back here. But I know we have a problem. Houston, we're venting something into space. I don't know. I don't know if
we're not sure, but we think it's helium.
Stop making fun of these astronauts. They may not be able to get home.
They're gonna be fine.
You don't know that. Now think if you are one of these astronauts.
Yeah.
And you are stuck out there on the space station. Are you okay? You're a brilliant mind.
Yeah.
You don't get to be that if you're not brilliant.
Mhm.
And you can fix things, right? But are you still a little nervous? Like,
Here's because they're at the International Space Station. There are already astronauts there. These guys were supposed to come up and come back down. If I'm one of the astronauts that's long term at the ISS, I'm looking at these guys like, oh my gosh.
glad I'm not you.
Well, I would just be like, go home. Like you're eating our food.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
taking our stuff.
Yeah.
It's like having a house guest who won't go away.
But this is the way I feel. Like if I take a 4-hour trip, I don't want to leave if I think I might be leaking oil.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I can stop. I have places I can stop if there's an emergency. I don't know what these guys do.
Why would they give a go ahead on a leaky launch? I thought everything had to be perfect.
What was the term they used?
It was
It was from the one launch that was scrapped.
Yes, the configuration was not something to proceed.
Yes. Configuration not optimal to proceed or something like that.
Okay. Guess who's at it again? My favorite people in the whole world.
Yours?
My favorite people, specifically.
Swifties.
Even dumber. Even more idiotic and less effective and ill.
Republicans? No, I'm kidding. That was a joke. That was a joke. No, go ahead.
Yeah, no.
I'm kidding. Relax. It was a joke.
Climate protesters,
Oh.
climate activists stormed the 18th green.
That sounded like a fun carnival
at
ride.
The Travelers Championship this weekend.
Was that the tackle? Yeah. Awesome.
Oh! This was at the Travelers Championship, the PGA. Scotty Scheffler and Tom Kim tied. They were trying to finish up the 18th hole to see if they were going to remain tied, and of course, then they went to a playoff. But 5 protesters ran onto the green, dumped red powder and white powder. They had to be tackled. It was very, very chaotic. I can't imagine being a golfer. You're Scotty Scheffler. You have to make this putt to win this championship, and then all chaos ensues. And he said it was something else.
Definitely a bit weird. You know, I saw one person out of the corner of my eye, and then I saw about 5 police officers sprinting around. And from my point of view, they got it taken care of pretty dang fast.
And he ended up winning in the tiebreaker in the 18th hole. But like what I'm trying to tell you is every time these climate activists do the stupidest form of protest possible, whether it's gluing your hand to a wall or spraying Stonehenge orange or throwing tomato soup on paintings or powder on the 18th green, it's so counterproductive. It makes me hate all climate activists and everybody who talks about the climate. Like, just, I don't know how this cause
Well, that's a you problem.
is a magnet for insanity. This cause has the weirdest, craziest, stupidest, least effective protesters. And honest to goodness, and you would agree with me with this one's dangerous because when you have people, they could have gotten shot. You don't know if they were going to attack the athletes.
Oh, well,
it's so dangerous.
I have a feeling about people rushing the field, rushing the court, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think you should get trucked. If you do that because of the danger to the
Right.
athletes who are playing, that I totally
So
agree
this
with.
was next
I
level
wonder if-
stupid because it could have been really unsafe and they could have gotten shot or someone shot.
I think it's our fault, though, because maybe if we actually listen to climate scientists who have been begging us to listen to them, these idiots wouldn't have to do idiot stuff.
I don't know why get better messengers, win people over. Other causes have won people over. A lot of controversial causes have won people over.
Yeah, but there are a lot of good messengers when it comes to the climate. They're just not being paid attention to.
Go find one and
There are
take
tons
a
of them.
picture. Take a picture.
there are
Send
ton-
it to me.
Well, see, I think that's laziness on your part that you haven't gone to find them
Well,
because
I
they're out
tried.
there. That's laziness on your part. Maybe you should get trucked.
I will.
Hey, speaking of the
truck one
climate,
those guys.
No, you wouldn't. You weigh 5
I'll
pounds.
dump a truck of oil into the ocean.
Yeah,
that's a terrible thing to do.
That's really that's productive for you. You live here too, doofus.
Not for long.
Where are you gonna go?
I don't know. Just go.
So speaking of the climate,
Yeah.
A black bear club has been hanging around Eureka and Baldwin. Maybe you've heard.
My what?
Oh, Eureka. You're dumb. Oh, my God, do I hate you. I hate you so much. Why do you have to be like this? A black bear has been roaming around the town of Eureka
Eureka.
and Baldwin and probably doesn't belong there. Baldwin Police Department, they have responded to reports by residents who said they saw a cub near Kerrs Mill Road and Clayton Road.
Oh, geez.
Bears should not be out that way. That's not a place for a bear.
Every now and then there's a bear in Baldwin. There was a bear that got into Eureka High School.
There's a video of one walking through the Claymont Shopping Center.
Remember when Kevin Killeen followed the bear all around Richmond Heights?
That's right.
That wasn't that long ago.
See? These poor bears are being moved out of their homes, and now they have to walk around the suburbs of St. Louis.
That's right.
That's not good.
Suburbia.
Wow. All right, Amy.
Well,
what have you got?
Hey, you were... So what exactly happened with the helicopters here?
Oh, this is such a great story. It's not a great story. Let me take that back. It's not great because there were businesses who were affected by this. So the St. Francis County Fair happened over the weekend, and a helicopter landed in the wrong area on Saturday. And because it came down, you know how helicopters work. You know how those blades work.
You know how they are. I do.
Well, when they land and they get closer to the ground, all that wind is dispersed and it can cause some damage. Well, multiple vendors had their tents destroyed by this helicopter who landed at the fair in the wrong place. So what I don't quite understand is you're in a helicopter and you know if you're getting close to people or objects.
Right.
And you know what the wind does.
Yeah.
Are you landing thinking maybe this isn't a good spot to do this? Shouldn't you know?
Right. And isn't the helicopter talking to someone on the ground? Isn't there some kind of communication? And like you said, if you are, I would hope, an experienced helicopter pilot, you would see a bunch of tents in the ground and think this is probably
Maybe
not
I
great.
shouldn't land here. Like, even if
So
you were
all the
told,
stuff got destroyed.
yes, so a lot of tents were destroyed. Some of the products were destroyed. So you have to, as a small business, pay a fee to take part in the fair. And a lot of people are reporting that they barely were able to make back the money that they paid in the fee because all of their
Oh,
stuff
that's
was
awful.
destroyed.
And it's really
It doesn't
hard.
make sense.
No, and it's like small businesses. A lot of times artists and craftsmen will have, all of their wares there. So it is awful to think that happened, and why it happened, I don't know. I would like to get your opinion on this feature, Ranj, that is now available at a couple of cemeteries. It's called the Phone of the Wind.
As they visit, they can stop and use the phone to make a call to their loved ones, say the things they want to say, tell them about their day. Maybe there have been grandchildren born, or any kind of news. It's really just to connect.
So that is the cemetery Phone of the Wind, and what it is, it's an old-timey phone, and I think it's a rotary, specifically a rotary phone in a little box. The box kind of reminds you of the little library, the little like birdhouse shaped library boxes that you'll see in neighborhoods, and you can take a book and leave a book.
Yeah.
It's shaped like that, but it's a little phone, and you pick up the phone, it's not connected, and you dial a number you remember, maybe your childhood phone number, whatever it may be, your mom's number, and then you just talk into the phone. And some cemeteries are using these wind phones as an outlet for part of the grieving process. And at first when I heard of a phone at a cemetery to call your loved one, I thought it was something creepy, but it's not. It's just a disconnected wind phone, and it's supposed to help you act out your grieving and say things that you wanted to say. To me, I was trying to put myself in that position. It goes from being like, oh, is that cheesy, to almost like way too sad in a split second for me. Like, I don't think I would want to do it, or I don't think I could do it, because if I dialed that number and started talking to that person as if they were still alive, I don't know. Like,
well, maybe that's the thing, is that if you think you would become too emotional in doing it.
Yeah. Kind of, and not that you're pretending they're alive. You're just saying like, hey, Mom, I never got to tell you this. And I know that's a form of catharsis, but I mean, the thought of it makes me feel way too sad.
But that's the thing, is that if you were to start leaving a message for somebody and you started to cry, that meant there was a lot that you have just pent up.
Yeah.
And you've pushed it down deep inside, and letting it out might be beneficial for you in ways you didn't realize it would. When you told me about it at first, I thought, okay, that seems odd.
That's my first reaction.
But the more I think about it, I think it makes actually a lot of sense. I think it makes a sense, because if you physically pick up a phone and act like you're dialing somebody, it does kind of feel like you're actually talking to them, as opposed to just, I know people talk to loved ones who've passed away, like they're in the house and they go,
you're at the cemetery, you could stand next to the grave.
But there's something psychologically more impactful by actually physically picking up a phone and making a call, even if it's not to anybody. I think it's the act of the phone and talking into it.
I think what it does,
you feel like it's going somewhere.
Right. And I think it is a barrier breaker for some people who, like you said, you have things you want to say, but you're not going to stand in the middle of your house and say it, maybe. Or maybe you don't feel comfortable standing next to the gravesite, but going to that phone, like you said, the act of picking it up. But it just struck me immediately from being like, that's weird, to just profoundly sad, but maybe that is what you need. Maybe that's healing.
A couple of really good interviews on the show. We talked to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, we did.
Remember Hulk Hogan? We talked to him. He visited with us today. We spoke to Luke Western, who is a PhD of physics at University of Bristol, writing about there was a climate change study on hydrochlorofluorocarbons, and the banning of those in the CFCs decades later is working. And we talked to him. So if you missed any of those interviews, they are on KMOX.com, but you should get the free Odyssey app, AUDACY, and you can listen to them then. Also, you can listen to this show live. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
If you had a crystal ball, you wouldn't agonize over when to sell your home. You'd just ask, should I sell while my home's value is sky high, or wait and hope the bottom doesn't drop out of the housing market? The thing is, I'm not ready to move. You don't need a crystal ball with Truehold's Sell and Stay program. You can literally sell now and stay in your home as long as you like. When you sell your home to Truehold for its best current value, you can fully cash out your home's equity, and you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Truehold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance too. Truehold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get an offer now while your home's value is sky high, and use the money to secure your retirement, pay off bills, or finance your dreams. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's current best value without moving. That's Truehold.com. Truehold.com.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fira Capital Management for Your Retirement Highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
AAA Travel invites you to live your best vacation with Journeys, a Pleasant Holidays luxury product. Vacation with Journeys and vacation in style with unparalleled luxury amenities and exquisite cuisine. Choose from world-class destinations with all-inclusive resorts, boutique hotels, private villas, cruises, and train journeys. If the perfect getaway is relaxing in Hawaii, exploring Europe's cities, experiencing the culture of Asia, unwinding in the Caribbean, or staying close to home, you'll find it with Journeys. Visit AAA.com/travel.
Summertime is the best time to enjoy the outdoors and enhance the appearance of your home. Banner Construction can make your home the showplace of the neighborhood with maintenance-free James Hardie siding and beautiful Pella replacement windows. Drive up to your home with a renewed pride. Visit bannerconstruction.com or call 314-569-1050. Get a free in-home design and estimate. Call 314-569-1050. and have a banner day. 314-569-1050.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Summertime is crazy time for families, and nobody can go without hot water. If you're in need of a water heater, all you have to do is send a picture of your water heater to Beast Plumbing for an estimate and same-day replacements. Call 314-500-LEAK and tell them Bo sent you to Beast Plumbing.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
You entrusted a nursing home with the care of a loved one, but they violated that trust. If your family member has been the victim of nursing home neglect, call Onder Law at 844-BED-SORE.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark scores because life is too short for boring radio. Let the excitement begin.
This Wednesday, it is another KMOX soccer showcase at Hot Shots in Arnold. It happens from 6 until 8 o'clock, and Chris Durkin of City SC will be there. So go on out, and actually you can go to KMOX.com and find the events page, and it will tell you about all of the events that are coming up with the soccer showcase. This is the second one. It is happening on Wednesday. Hot Shots in Arnold from 6 until 8 o'clock. You'll get specials on Michelob Ultra, Neutral, and there will also be some city-themed cocktails. So go see them in Arnold.
But be careful.
Be very careful when you're driving there and back.
That's right. Also, our Whitey Herzog Memorial 618 tournament continues, and we are in the Final Four. The Final Four. We have Fast Eddie's, a 15 seed, taking on number 1 seed, Jackie Joyner Kersey, only the greatest athlete of the 20th century. And then we have number 4 seed, Raging Rivers, taking on the number 1 seed, Lewis and Clark, the guys, not the college.
Who do you think is going to win this whole thing?
Raging Rivers, probably.
Raging Rivers is not going to win the whole thing.
It's going to be, I have a bad feeling.
Why?
I have a feeling that one of the ones that I don't want to win is going to win.
Well, who don't you want to win?
It rhymes with past readies.
Oh, what's your problem with
nothing?
that?
But I don't think that should beat Jackie Joyner Kersey or Raging Rivers or Lewis and Clark.
I don't want to influence the vote too much.
Well, now I've already done it.
You've done that. At Chris Amy KMOX, follow us on Twitter, and then you can vote for that poll, which I think has been the Whitey Herzog Memorial 618 tournament has been a lot of fun. There have been some matchups that I'm really bummed by some of those that have lost. I think Cahokia Mound should have gotten a lot farther.
It did not go very far. Menard's Correctional Facility.
Menard Correctional should have Man, we have a max security in Illinois, man.
I know.
That's pretty good.
In the 618.
In the 618.
Yeah, this wasn't Illinois. This was the 618. We were very specific.
Right. I don't know.
Strip clubs also. I honestly thought they would have been a sleeper to win.
I did too. And they lost to legalized sports betting.
Which
in the first round.
Which lost to Raging Rivers.
Which I can't believe.
That one I can't believe either.
Legalized sports betting is so good.
100% more people crossed the river from Missouri, Illinois into Illinois to make bets than they did to go to Raging Rivers.
Here is a matchup from the very first round that I'm a little surprised it went this way. Because in the 3-1-4 tournament, we had an entry using the word Hoosier wrong. That also exists in Southern Illinois. They use the word Hoosier wrong over there, too.
I didn't know that.
That lost right away. I grew up saying the word Hoosier. We all did in Granite City, and we used it the same way that you use it in Missouri.
I think that's why. I think because that is very much a St. Louis-y thing.
It isn't. It's the entire area.
But you pretend like you're from the St. Louis area.
I am.
Right. So no one in St. Louis.
It's called the Metro East.
Yes, but no one in St. Louis goes, I'm from the Granite City area. Nobody says that. So St. Louis has ownership of the area in that sense.
Right.
When you say
that's how suburbs work.
When you say Hoosier wrong, people think St. Louis. They don't think Southern Illinois.
But people in Southern Illinois say it
because
the same
of
way.
St. Louis.
Oh my God. Man.
Hey, yeah, you can't fight the numbers.
I am up to here with you today.
You cannot fight the numbers.
Anything you missed on the app, AUDACY, download it and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Chris and Amy will be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock, but we're going to stick around for an hour with the Dave Glover Show on KMOX.
Oh, points. Never heard of the point system before.
Hey guys, it's Dave and Rachel from the Dave Glover Show.
So Smart Mouth